People say I am the best YouTuber. They go like, God, we've never seen a channel like this before. You are hilarious. And you get the best out of us. I think that pretty much sums it up. I got it at Spencer Gifts. What's up guys, Felix here and welcome to FLX Studios, the show where we still treat music as art. Today I want to answer a question that is really personal to me because it took me a long time to come up with an actual answer, but now I have it and I'm really happy, so I want to share it with you. And the question is, does gear matter? Well, of course it does. I mean, if you don't play with a $15,000 guitar from Gibson, are you even... Okay, sorry, I can't stay serious while saying this. To me, gear does not matter, but there is a catch. On one hand, gear does not matter because you can make music with pretty much anything, so any kind of guitar will make music. But on the other hand, you don't want that gear to have an impact on your playing. What I mean is that your instrument should always help you compose and not restrict you in any way. So if your guitar is so cheap that it doesn't stay in tune, well, you have a problem because you won't be able to compose what you want because you will constantly be tuning back your guitar. And that is actually a common problem with very low-end guitar, they don't stay in tune, or sometimes the action is so low that the frets are buzzing. And that will keep you from composing what you want to compose because you will always have to deal with those little details. I'm going to show you an example of what I mean. I'm going to show you my first electric guitar. By the way, this will be super cringy. So my first electric guitar was a Fender Squier. Like lots of beginners, I had the chance to play with that instrument. I think I got this guitar when I was like 10 years old or something like that, because I started playing guitar when I was 9, but it was with an acoustic guitar, and unfortunately that guitar does not exist anymore. So yeah, this is my first electric guitar. And I'm not showing you the body right now for a reason. I played with that guitar for a couple of years and then bought myself some other cheap guitars. But yeah, because it was my first guitar, when I got my first band, when I was 13 years old, we got really cocky and we thought that we were the next big thing, obviously, because everyone wants to see 13 years old play crappy rock music. Sure. So, what we did is we wrote our names and all of the names of the songs on the guitar. This is kind of a nice souvenir now, as much as it's cringy. But like back when we did it, it was not because we wanted to be remembered of our first band. No, we thought that this guitar with the writing on it could sell for millions at some points. Spoiler alert, it didn't. I still got it. If you're going to buy a really cheap guitar, don't buy a cheap guitar with a tremolo because it won't stay in tune. So yeah, I had to change guitars at some point because this is too cheap and this didn't allow me to actually compose a song. Because let's hear that beautiful sound. Oh my god, that's beautiful. So yeah, I couldn't write anything on it. So yeah, that's what I mean when I'm saying that if your guitar is keeping you from composing something, well, your guitar is too cheap. Okay, so a cheap guitar can keep you from composing what you want. No shit! But a higher end guitar can also have problems. Unlike what people at Gibson seem to think, It's not because you pay thousands of dollars for a guitar that you are in presence of a good guitar. I've said this often on my channel, but music is subjective. So obviously the differences in tones are also subjective. So can we judge a good guitar because of the sound it has? Well, not really, because it really depends on your taste. However, we can judge a good guitar by what it's made of, like the wood. But again, I've tried many guitars that were considered being super good because they had good wood and good parts, but they didn't feel comfortable to me. In fact, when I was like 18 years old, I bought myself a PRS Custom 24. You might not know this, but these guitars are expensive. I simply bought that guitar because I knew this was a good brand of guitars. So yeah, I was 18, I just got my first job, I was making some money for once, and I thought, what the hell, I'm going to buy myself a good guitar. So I just went straight into the guitar store, I found a PRS Custom 24 and I said, that's it, I'm going to buy that thing. So $2,000 later, I had a PRS at home and I was playing with it. And I didn't like it. But still, I was convinced that this was a good guitar, so I was only telling myself, we're gonna get used to it. But again, spoiler alerts, I never got used to it. Because the PRS Custom 24 is kind of a light guitar with a small neck, and I prefer heavy guitars with thick necks. So yeah, it's really not what I wanted, but still, it was a good guitar. It's just that it didn't really fit my needs and my preferences. So I was always finding myself coming back to my cheap Epiphone Les Paul because that guitar felt way better in my hands. And that cheap guitar is still my main guitar. This is not like a super low-end guitar, but it's not a super high-end guitar either. I bought it for like $700 when I was 14 years old. And I played with that guitar for so long that I got used to play with guitars that have thick necks and that are kind of on the heavy side. So yeah, now I have to buy heavy guitars or else it doesn't feel like a guitar to me. But if you tried my guitar, you would probably say that it sucks because it's still a cheap guitar in the end. But to me, this feels like a good guitar, and that's what's important. So yeah, to answer the question, I think that gear does not matter as long as it doesn't have an impact on your playing. So if your guitar is too cheap and does not feel comfortable to you, well, it's not good because it's not good for you. But at the same time, if a higher end guitar does not feel good to you either, well, yeah, buy something cheap that you can actually use and that you actually feel comfortable using. Because there are good cheap guitars. I know that's not what Fender and like Gibson want you to think, but there are good cheap guitars. So I felt like this video was really important to do simply because I want younger guitar players to just know that there are good cheap guitars. You don't have to have the same guitar as Slash or Eric Clapton or, I don't know, Sinister Gates just to play like them. As long as you have a guitar that feels good to you, well, you're good to go. Hey guys, so that was it for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps me. Also, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of my content. And I will see you guys soon, and in the meantime, stay awesome.